Oh, oh dear, oh dear. Hello, hi, how are you? My name's Greg. If this is your first video, then welcome to my channel. If this isn't your first video, then welcome back. I'm happy to have you here. Today, I have this. I have a large, rather large, crikey, tankard of juice, because you might be thinking, you know, most vloggers tend to have a cup of tea or coffee if you're heathens, but instead I have a nice tankard of juice because stay hydrated, kids. And today I figured that I would do a little discussion about sort of groups of friends, cliques if you will, or cliques if you won't, and sort of how they interact and how, sort of specifically with house parties, how they interact. And here's something. I wonder if throughout this video I can have some light vaporwave going. I know, vaporwave, ooh, who does he think he is? But it's quite nice. So I wonder if I can have that going in the background without getting maybe like demonetized or anything. I wonder, let's see if that just sort of plays. Underlying, maybe the microphone will pick it up and it'll be quite good. Who knows? Regardless, today the topic of conversation is going to be groups of friends and how those interact. Because I find it quite interesting, especially considering I'm in the education system, and so socialising is quite a large part of that, especially at university where you're sort of living by yourself, you've got your flatmates around you, and there are parties going on all the time. And I figured it might be quite interesting, considering a lot of my peers are the same age as me, or have maybe progressed from uni, or maybe even going into uni, progressing from college slash sixth form. And so it might be useful for some of the younger people to have this conversation, and some of the older people might have some words of wisdom to share in the comments below, maybe even on Twitter. And I wanted to sort of start off this conversation by discussing, you know, when you see a group and they're walking down the street, right? Let's get that mental image kicked off. Let's start with that one. You tend to see people sort of split up. Let's say you have a large group, maybe 6 to 10. 6 to 10 people is quite a large group of people to see walking down the street, especially if they're friends. If you have 6 to 10 people, a street is only really wide enough for 2, maybe 3 at a push. 4 if you're, I don't know, in New York or Amsterdam or something. That's pretty wild. But generally, let's go with 2. Let's go with the rule of 2. So let's say you have 6 people, 3 groups of 2. Now, these people are all friends. These people maybe know each other from education. Let's use that example. And you tend to find that they'll split up. But who will they split with? So you'll get, and where will they go? There's the question. So you'll find that there's the leaders. These people sort of push the group forwards. They, consciously or not, tend to take charge and make the decisions for the group. Let's go to Tesco's, they say. Let's buy some alcohol to consume later on. And so everyone goes, this is a great idea. And then they go and purchase some alcohol. Or, if you're underage, some carbonated beverages. Coca-Cola or Pepsi, if you're feeling, you know, like you could stop a race war. But anyway, that's beside the point. You get these people, and 2 of them walk ahead of the group. 2 of them split off. Maybe their stride is longer. Maybe they walk with more confidence than the rest. Maybe they know where they're going. Maybe it's as simple as that. The rest don't know where they're going. These 2 do. And maybe one of them's a leader. Maybe one of them's their friend, their close friend, or someone who wishes they could be a leader. Maybe even someone who's like an accomplice. And you'll find these two people having loud, strong conversations about, well, what's happened during the day, about what the group intends to do later, many different things. But then you'll get way at the back. We're going all the way. If it's 6 people in the group, then it's, just 2 steps behind. If it's 10 people in the group, all the way. But these sort of tag-alongs is a bit of a derogatory term for them. But you tend to find them lagging at the back. Maybe they have smaller strides, or maybe they're just content to watch. Maybe they don't know the rest of the group that well. And so it's interesting to look at who these people are, because there's so many varieties. If it's someone who's not quite as confident, then maybe they have just one other friend in that friendship group. Maybe they've just been recently introduced. If you're in one of these groups walking down the street, sort of look around and see who's paired off with who, see if I'm right, evaluate what's going on, report your findings in the comments below. Why not? And so these shy people will just say, you know what, I'm going to stick back, I'm going to let everyone have their sort of social fun, and I'm going to maybe make a few comments about, I don't know, whatever. Like, oh, she's wearing nice shoes, or he's got an excellent shirt, something like that. But if it's sort of more content people, then maybe, occasionally a leader will go to the back. They'll just fall back. Maybe they're not having to lead the charge. Maybe they're just going to the park and everyone knows the way. So they'll fall to the back and they'll watch everyone. They'll watch over them like a lion watching over his pride. Because, they're filled with pride. This is their group. They're people. They love them. And so they'll just watch and not even talk, not even have a big conversation. Maybe they'll just be on their phone checking Twitter, saying, hey, meet us at the park. We're going to get bevved. And just find them watching over. Maybe making a few comments to the new person, saying, hey, you know what? It's going to be a fun time. We're going to get bevved. It's going to be great. But what about the middle people? See, no one ever gives enough attention to the middle people. Because if you're in a large group, a 10 group, then the second group is going to maybe be the popular ones. Maybe they'll form a sort of coalition group between the one behind them, where someone might be walking backwards. Oh, dangerous, maverick. They'll be walking backwards, having a big conversation. Sort of the core conversation that's going on in this group, where the people in the front are having their own thing. They don't need the group. They enjoy being part of the group. They lead the group. But they will have their own thing. The core conversation will go on in the middle. Maybe the conversation that's led them to the park, Oh, I received a message from Tim. And Tim's like, oh, mate, Becky, you gotta come this way. And then at the back, there's going to be the sort of shy people, or the content people, having their own little thing. So if you're walking down the street, and you see a group of people, or you're even in a group of people, just take notice of what's going on, because these are my findings. That's what I tend to notice about groups that I'm in. So I've drifted many a time. I often found myself at the back when I was younger, and now I sometimes find myself more at the front. Whether that confidence is misplaced or not, it's not for me to say. I can't possibly be self-aware enough to comment on my own social standing, but I have a few people, 2 of whom are named Andrew. Just interestingly enough, I have a few people who I'm very happy to lead the charge with. We know where we're going, we have our own personal banter. Sometimes we even go by ourselves, just a group of 2, a pairing, a couple, a duo. There are many options here. And sometimes I just found myself at the back. Maybe I was not that confident in where we were going. Say if we're going to a club, then I'll just, I'll stick to the back. If any confrontation happens, then, it's like a war. It's like a formation. Any confrontation has to get through the front lines. Front lines of defence, cut it off at the head. What if it breaks them? What if they start to get fired up and confrontation escalates? Then you've got the throng, the core middle of the group. I genuinely don't know if I used the word throng there correctly. That's not for me to say. I could look it up, but I'm lazy. But regardless, the confrontation will head to the middle of the group, and then everything will happen. And then the people at the back, that's their opportunity. They've seen it coming. They saw everything happen. That's their opportunity to take another step back and just go, you know what? I'm going to leave this alone. And then, see, this is where the leader who's fallen to the back, content to watch everything, their families moving along, and if any confrontation happens, they'll step in, they'll part the seas like Moses or another religious figure of your choosing. I'm not here to judge. They'll part the seas and they'll go, hey, this is my group, what are you doing to my group? So there's a lot of options. And the thing about these options is they only increase when you get to the party. Whether it's a park party, a party in the park, or a beach party, if you're from Los Angeles, maybe California. But generally, you'll find it's a house party, or if you're at university, a flat party. Then you find a lot of things. Because that's when groups mingle. You get multiple groups from multiple areas coming together, congregating. And you start to question, well, what's my place in this? Because I knew my place coming to the party. I knew that. I was a middle person, or I was a leader, or I was a hanger-oner. But at the party, I don't know what I'm doing. And you tend to get the leaders, they're the ones who all know each other. So you've got this big house party going on. And then you've got 5 leaders, maybe 5, maybe more, maybe less. But you've got all the leaders and they're coming together and they're shaking hands and saying, it's been too long since I've seen you, Eric. And all of that happens. And you get the greetings like, hi, this is this person, and Lucy and Rebecca and all of that. And then you get the middle people. And they mingle. They go, here's the bevs. We've brought our own bevs. Or here's the snacks. You supplied snacks, you're a good host. And where's the music? Time to put me tunes on. My Spotify playlist is dope. And then they start to form the core of the party with the leaders sort of standing at the table. If your kitchen's got an island, that's when you know you're in luck. Because that's where the leaders will stand. And maybe that's even where the party games will start. The Rings of Fire, the Truth or Dares, the Never Have I Ever. There's not very many party games, none of them are all particularly good. Get drunk and they'll be a lot more fun. The majority of them are simply to get you drunk. So, bear through it. If you want to play actual games with, actual people, board games. Honestly, the board game world is vast and it's fun. And it's funny, card games as well, pen and paper, games. Sometimes video games. Sometimes you go to a party and there'll be a TV and you're like, hold on, this is new. What's going on here? And it'll be a TV. And someone will go, I've got the laptop, I'm Mr. Tech McGee, and he connects his laptop. Or maybe it's even a video game console. And he connects the controllers. And you all go, Mario Kart. And then 4 people gather together and they're like, we are the racing kings and queens and champions. And we gather together and we play the Mario Kart. And this is where the party starts, because the Mario Kart is the flashing lights and the sounds and the vroom vroom. And then people gather and watch and they start to root for them. Or maybe it's the Jackbox party pack and it's a quiz game, or it's a hands up if this person smells game, or all that stuff. But regardless, we're getting away from the point. The middle people gather, they form the core of the party. What about the rest? What if you're a party with a cat? We'll get to that. You get the lackeys. Maybe it's that one cool guy who turned up late. He didn't have a group. What's he doing? He's a loner. He's a Wild West outlaw, and he's come up to the party with absinthe. Or I don't know, something wild. Maybe, depending on the kind of people you encounter, he's brought the drugs. And I'm not going to comment any further on that because that's rather illegal. But there's a lot of wild characters. You'll know you'll know them. If you go to a flat party, you'll quickly learn who's who and who is the wild cards. But anyway, you get these sort of quieter people, not the leaders, no, not the middle people, the hanger-oners. And you know, sometimes they're confident, sometimes they're comfortable to be that. Maybe they're not just shy, they're chill. Maybe they already live there. Maybe you've gone to a flat party where someone, you know, has a flatmate who's involved. Whatever. And then you'll find that the kitchen/communal area, I'm talking pretty exclusively to flat parties here, however, if you're going to a house party or even an outside party, then you'll find some equivalent. Instead of the kitchen communal area, it'll be the living room, and also the kitchen, because everyone gathers in the kitchen. It's where the drinks are, you know, it's where the taps are. But regardless, there'll be bedrooms, there'll be bathrooms. If it's a house party, the bathroom is the place to be. But I'll get onto that, be patient. For its flat party, then there'll be bedrooms everywhere, and that's where all the bathrooms are, and someone will have designated their bathroom to be the communal bathroom for the night, and sometimes you'll have to open up a second one because, oh, you know, Carolyn's just passed out in that one. A bit of a state, honestly, and I don't know, Jack over here, he's just sort of watching over her. Don't know whether it's protective, don't know whether it's creepy, but either way, he's a bit tipsy and he's ready. Don't you even come at me with, he's just looking out for her, because never happens. Always got to watch out for the one who's watching out for the ones, yeah? You got this guy, could be a girl, mostly a guy, because girls tend to got ahead of myself. Girls tend to hang together at parties, especially drunk girls. Nothing better than a drunk girl at a party. Supportive. But a drunk guy, who's sort of going, no, I'm a supportive one, I'm looking out for them. Watch them. Just watch them. All I'm saying. But anyway, you got the bedrooms. And people tend to decorate their bedrooms quite nicely. There's this one person, I wonder who this could be, looking around. There's this one person who's decorated it really quite nicely, just for such an occasion. And when the party gets a bit too much, or when the music starts to turn to, you know, less Ed Sheeran and the really cool stuff, and more just top 50 songs that you've never heard of, because it's not the top 10, and it's not the weird obscure, it's just the 30s, the 47s, you know. What's going on there? What's going on in the middle of the top 50? The lower end? Maybe that's a bit weird, because it's, you know, obscure things that are breaking in. But what about the 27s, the 32s? You don't want that. So you go off. You go and find... And at this point, of course, the party has progressed. A lot of people are already drunk. A couple of people are probably on the stairs or in the garden making out. Ugh. So you each sort of... And you've settled. You know, you're not shy anymore. You've found a couple of people. So you settle. And then you go into this one room and you're walking through the hallway, just searching. And you see lights coming out of this room and weird music and a conversation. Sometimes even a bit of that, you know, fire and burning paper. And you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to step in there. And you step in, it's like a whole new world has been opened up to you. Aladdin's in there in the corner, and he's singing. And you realise it's not Aladdin, it's actually Abed from down the hall. But, you know, at this point, you're too drunk to tell the difference. And, well, that's your own fault for not being... Anyway, you walk into the room. And you realise that this is where the real party is. This is where we're connecting to each other. This is the soul-searching area. We've got our drinks. We've also got our own snacks. And we just sit, we find our little spots around the room, and we sit and we open our hearts. You communicate with people. This is what you came to the party for. You're going out to the club afterwards. Have none of it, sir. There's an after party. Party down the hall. Second party. No. I'm in the bedroom. And not even like that. And that's where the real party happens. And it's lovely. And it's wonderful. And it's what I certainly go to parties for. I know some people go to them to dance on the tables and swing from the chandeliers if you see her. And I know some people go to the party just to get drunk, so they can go to the club and they can find the one, and then they lose the one in the crowd and, you know, find them again. It's like, oh, I found you. And then that person's like, you know, I was trying to lose you actually. You're a bit ugly, but, you know, whatever. But it's in the bedroom where, as they say, the magic happens. It's where you get these people in and you just have a real good time, a connection. And I realise what a lot of this is sounding, but, you know, that's for later. That's get out of here, you dirty minds. And you just sort of drift off, and it's a liminal space, you know? You don't care about the time. There might be a clock in the room and you've all got your phones, but you're not paying attention. You're paying attention to each other. You're socialising. It could be light outside, it could be dark outside, you don't know. The curtain's shut. Is the curtain shut, or is that just the weird colour of the sky? You don't know. You've got your bevs. You're eating Aldi's own digestives, because that was what the guy could afford. But it doesn't matter, because they taste like little pieces of heaven, because you're with your friends. And that's what it is, isn't it? You're with your friends, and you love your friends. They've been with you. They get you through thick and thin. And at the end of the night, you're going to be with them, throwing up, in a little car park or something. And they'll have you. They'll hold your hair back. They'll make sure you don't throw up in your brand new shoes or something. That's what a party's all about. And sometimes there's a cat. You remember I mentioned the cat? Of course I mentioned the cat. If you're at a house party, rarely a flat party, if you're at a house party, there'll be a cat. And it'll be wandering around, reacting to the loud music, reacting to the drunk people going, oh, it's a cat. And then it winds up upstairs, maybe in one of the bedrooms, or a couple of people are, because, you know, it's full circle. We've got to the bedroom, cat walks in, people go wild. It's like, oh, there's a cat. Maybe there's that one person who doesn't know anyone at the party. They just turned up because they had one friend, and then that friend's gone. That friend's making out with Jason. What am I supposed to do? So that person finds the cat, they pet the cat, and life is good. They found meaning. There's bloody Bob in the blooming bath. I don't know. You never know at a party. Anything's going on. And the cat walks over to him and he's like, oh, the cat. The cat. Sometimes it's a dog. Rarely a dog. Mostly cats. Occasionally, some freak has a rabbit. And that's all the way outside. So you get people going out to the smoking area. Maybe it's even a barbecue if it's in the summer. Oh. And you go to the rabbit and you say hi. But there's a cat. And it like sort of climbs onto the bed and walks around. Because that's its home, you know. You're invading. But it lets you. Because it's a cat. And you have a good time. That pretty much concludes my opening to the discussion of socialising and how it relates to parties and people walking down the street. Who are you? You know, of these people that I've listed, who do you tend to be? What do you have more fun doing? Who do you identify as? Do you have anything that I missed? Do you have anything to add to the conversation? Maybe some criticism? I don't know. Leave it in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. But the most important thing, follow me on Twitter, because that's where the real conversation happens. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day. Drink lots of water.